contest at work.
Anyway, well, I think we're live. It's all right. So we'll pick that up in a second.
Oh, no hurry. I'm just shooting the shit.
They're going to shoot the shit today, that's for certain. Turn it off. All the extra buttons. All the extra buttons you got to click. Oh my god. They really have made the whole job a lot more complicated. But it does say we're live.
Yep. Popped up finally.
Mark Badun, good morning. How are you? Fantastic topic. Looking forward to it. Well, all these topics are always about. Oh, sorry, what in that case. Going to have this thing here bugging me all day now. Jesus Christ. I'm not even connected to Facebook at the moment, but it's going to give me all the Facebook follows. Ugh. Yes, annoying. You can't win this game, really. They change software and they stuff you up every time. Well, it looks like we're finished. Yeah, so Thai-Western relationship. Good afternoon, Warren. Excellent topic. Well, we have to have it. Yes. Hey, go on. I'm talking over you there. Sorry.
No. I was just reading. I was trying to figure out what Thai-Western relationship was saying. Keep voting that head to the music. And he says auto spelling sucks. Must have been bobbing.
Keep bobbing to the music. Yes, it's a good tune. I loved it. I do love the tune. I think it's one of those. If you ever I never really sort of give him a plug, but there is a Discord channel for Fat Rat where he's very much publicly focused. He's not one of these people that chase the money through commercial enterprise, but he writes his own music. This one here is it's called Time Lapse. It's just this is our channel. It just says everything about life here in Thailand. And I was turn the volume down. Here we go. Pause that. But yes, I should link his channel, shouldn't I? Where's the link to his channel? I think it's down in the description box anyway. So we had a bunch of interesting comments coming through on the video that was released yesterday. So I thought, well, and that essentially sort of, it may be something we'll follow through on a regular basis. We'll do the weekly topic video, right, which is the one where me and Chanya are together, and then we'll do a follow-up on the Saturday morning. It seems like we can talk about the video and talk about all the bits and pieces that we don't get to do in the 15 minutes of a video. Mark Verdern's decided to start the OA visa process now that Australia will let us leave if going longer than 3 months. So okay, I haven't even heard that one on the news yet, so that's an interesting one. So they're actually going to let you out of prison, are they?
Time off for good behavior?
Time off for good behaviour. I don't know. Are you wearing a mask? Are you? Are you wearing the mask? The mask issue. It's it's one of those hit and miss things over here. You're still expected to wear them when you're going into your 7-Eleven store, but you're going into the 7-Eleven store, you've got to wear one, but there's all the food vendors just outside where you don't need to wear one. You go into the supermarkets and in the shopping centres, right? You got to wear it to go in the shopping centre, and then of course you're outside the shopping centre. You're totally. G'day, Drew. How you doing? He's Tyler. My wife just doesn't. Morning, dude. Yes, you go into the shopping centre, you got to put the mask on. As soon as you walk out the door, you can take the mask off, and it's all cool. Mind you, most people still wear it outside, but it's crazy stuff we're going to deal with. Yeah, so today's topic is Thailand right for you? As we sort of said in the video, it's a real can of worms when it comes to thinking, what's right for anybody. I think the one thing that always comes to mind, and that's what I think I opened that in the video as well, was if you don't like hot, humid weather, maybe Thailand won't work for you. Johnny Siam, good morning. How are you? I think Victoria is still the only state to police it. Okay, yep. Okay, so you're still in lockdown in Victoria. But yeah, was it? I got a friend of mine who keeps on sending me all the memes of Mr. Andrews down there. I better not share them. I might get my channel banned. But yes, the whole game. I think it's it's starting to shape up. But I think I saw some numbers this morning coming out, and not only the incidence rates of the CV in England have dramatically increased with the cooler weather, so also has the death rate. So people are dropping. Now I'm not going to. Well, do we want to look at numbers? Are we going to look at that? I don't know whether we should or not. Richie Kingstar, Richie Kingstar, g'day. And Dowlow's here as well. G'day, how you doing, Dowlow? Thailand has lost its shine for the normal traveller. Better value elsewhere. Well, I think that's a fairly true statement there, Johnny. With the political unrest we got here at the moment, which in my opinion is a bit of a storm in a teacup. It's always an ongoing issue. It's their cycle of life here. They've had 14 successful coups in the last 100 years or whatever, or something like that, or the last 80 years, and then I think 7 failed coups. I can't remember that. Somebody can look up those numbers for me, right? Maybe like it's been it's been 6 years since we've had a coup. Maybe we need another one. Who knows? Coup d'etat. Thailand is also very much changing compared to what it used to be. What you could have enjoyed 10 years ago. Well, what you could have enjoyed 10 years ago, was a little bit more of a relaxed feeling of everything. I think everybody, although Thais hide it well, there is a sense of what do you call it? I'm just trying to think of the word. There's a word that captures that one. There's a sense of don't say something wrong, or otherwise I could get in trouble. Although they always have this Thai smile, and the Thai smile, as I said before, that comes from the food. The food is so good here, right? You're always smiling, Mr. Mitch, g'day, how you doing? You're getting prepared to come over here on your leaving the USA. But yes, the things that didn't bother me but bother a lot of people over here is the humidity. What was that? Oh, and Mr. Stephen's just joined us. G'day, Mr. Stephen.
Oh, I did it. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. How you doing? I know you tried to catch me last night.
Yeah, I tried to just sort of work it out. Last week I was taking care of Mother, but everything's going well. She was just out of hospital with a hip replacement, so...
Okay. Yeah, if you always look, as I said, now that we're playing this new game, Dual Universe, that's actually on a different Discord channel. Although I'm here and I'm online, I'm actually not in our Discord server. I'm on another Discord server. So all you need to do is just jump on the live chat there, and then send me a message, mention me there, so that I can then politely leave that channel. So say, look, somebody's calling me. I've got to leave now, and I've got to park a ship or something like that, so I can, whatever. And then I'll come and join you. But as I said, if you're just going to call through the direct messaging, I just don't get time to do the buy your leave stuff, and then just doesn't work that way. Same with Facebook Messenger. I very rarely take Facebook calls as well, because I'm doing other things.
Oh, you're a celebrity, so you gotta take
just
these breaks.
well, you got it. Well, I said we're playing a game. I could crash my ship. I could crash
You're a
my ship.
As the Thais would say, you're a celebrity.
A celebrity, is that right? I saw your posts on the Facebook forum. You're doing your Thai lessons now, are you?
I'm just having fun, amusing myself. I don't expect. I put up these videos acting like I was giving everybody homework, and I don't expect anybody to do it, of course.
Well, I saw the homework. I actually watched one of them. Yeah, I know most of those verbs. I use most of them as well. I use all. I think the first two.
Yeah.
The first two sets of verbs. Yeah.
Got to allow for everybody. I mean, there'll be a lot of people who don't know them, but yeah, you're right. They're pretty easy but interesting. And then you got those easy grammar forms, like present, past, and future tense. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, so this is obviously another point, obviously, for the subject today. Look, I haven't even done it. She's like, I could never get this thing here, so I actually have it all organised in one day. I've got the title, How Crazy is Living in Bangkok. I haven't changed the title yet. Typical me.
Don't worry, I'm always aware how bad my Thai is. And, Mayor Groves has got pretty good Thai, and probably many people on this channel have better Thai than me. But just as a teacher, I thought it'd be nice to show my point of view of how I would go about learning it,
Yeah. But then, of course,
it helps somebody.
Our
Fun,
subject, obviously today, is Thailand right for you? Following up from yesterday's video.
Okay.
So it does fit in. Like language is a big part of it. And it's something that comes up quite often. I think we did, like the previous video, we talked about the language, and some people have an issue with me talking to Chanya in a sort of a simplistic form. They're sort of expecting me the fact that I should be teaching her more English. Well, she is learning
English.
Yeah, well, that's it. I think people, most people understand what's going on. It's the way we are. We've been doing it for 11 years. It's very hard to break a habit, and that habit was formed, when we first started communicating. Not with Facebook Messenger, not with like all the latest technology. You've got SMS. Like 11 years or 11 and a half years ago when we first started dating, it was SMS messages. Right, and people don't realise how hard that is to try to, shorten this. Because I think you had a limit of characters. I'm not quite sure what it was. I think an SMS message was 128 characters long. Anything longer than that, and it would truncate the thing. So you always had to shorten everything anyway. So it's basically nouns and verbs. You just simply, hi, you okay? How are you?
Lots of words, not just according to my silly opinion, but experts I hear all the time. They say just learn a shitload of words, and then just learn the basic word order for the various tenses and questions, and you'll go right up to high beginner with that.
Yeah. But really that's the thing. So we started with Shania and me. We started with SMS messages, and then when we finally managed to get, I think our first video conferencing system we started using was Skype. She didn't have a computer here, so she'd have to go to the local internet cafe to make a call, and we had to organise, organise a schedule for that. Oh my God, you guys have got no idea how easy it is to do a long distance communication, long distance relationship now, as opposed to what it was like 11 years ago.
But two things now that's different. Like I noticed on your videos that you can use Google Translate, you can point to pictures.
Oh yeah.
And I also noticed one other thing that Chanya, I think it was in a recent video, she made the point. I thought it was a really interesting video where she wanted to learn Thai. She wanted you to learn Thai. Mm-hmm. And I think it took you by surprise at the time. Well, at least that's how it felt to me in the video. I thought, she was quite coherent. She said, "Look, I need you to make an effort and learn some Thai."
I do.
And the look on your face.
It was a bit staged, but it is an ongoing thing, right? The Thai. She's always happy for me to learn Thai. Now, one of the things, of course, the Google Translator on the web page doesn't have the ability to import photos, but that's one of the things that the translator have. Like last night, I was ordering pizza, right, and in the menu,
that's right.
right. So, well, let me just see if I can find the picture so I can.
You did all those food ones, didn't you? So they're useful. Like you can show the picture and and say, and so they're handy for that. I mean, it doesn't matter how you communicate as long as you try.
I'm just trying to find. Like I did something yesterday.
I mean, for a lot of us old guys, people say, "Oh, go and learn how to read." Yes, we know that reading, Thai, is very important, but we've got to be realistic. How many of us are going to learn to read and write? If we can just talk better than we do now, or more often, I think that's a huge leap. You know, see blokes that have been there 20, 25 years and still can't speak any Thai and not interested. You know, I think it's if you're going to be an expat there, you should make that effort.
You do, yep.
Well, you know, you expect them to speak English, so why not meet them halfway? You know.
Yeah, just the example I was going to use, just to give people a bit of background. It's found it now anyway. Right. So last night I was ordering pizza. Right now, this is the thing. So the grab is in Thai. So not many sort of restaurants will do the language, do a secondary language in English. I think Kentucky Fried Chicken does. They do they do the dish in Thai, then they do the dish in English, which is like Tinglish again. You know, it's not quite translated well. I think they're using Google Translate to translate the Thai to English. So, you know,
pizza just stays the same, doesn't it? Like if you order pizza.
In this case here, like as you can see, it's got the Thai there, pepperoni. See, it's got the letter E with the letter P.
Oh, right.
You know,
but when you say it, though, you just say pizza, don't you? Or you just say pizza.
Oh, pizza's okay, yeah. But I said I'd have to do a screenshot another one to show you the actual menu.
Yeah, well, some of them don't know what pizza is because it's not a Thai dish, is it?
Let me just go back to food, and I'll give you an idea. So, what I'm talking about here is the fact that this one here, right? I have to use the translator because I can't. They look so similar. I can't even recognise it. Right. This one here is thick crust. This one here is the first one is a thick crust. Is a thin. Pizza 1 and pizza 2 is thin crust. This one here is pizza 1 is a thin crust. Pizza 2 is a thick crust. Pizza.
Are you reading that or remembering?
I'm memorising. Yeah. And pizza 1 is a thick crust, and pizza 2. Well, I'm just using the actual because I know that this one here was thick crust and thick crust. So, and of course, this font that they're using is not an ideal font for the Thai translator as well, which causes a little bit of an issue too. But yeah, so that's how you do it. So I'll screenshot there. I'll swap over the little translator up, import the picture, and then I'll just scan the picture, so I know that I'm ordering the right thing, and then just check the box.
I can't read a thing. All I know is when I see that writing now, I know it's Thai.
Yeah. Add to basket. So that was 319 baht for 2 medium-sized pizzas. Pizza nights. It's Friday night's pizza night. I buy 2 pizzas. Me and Chanya eat pizza. I call her up, say pizza's ready. Come on home, and she comes on
about
home.
$8 each Australian. Yeah.
Yeah, we eat the pizza, and the girls are still working here, so they all get a slice as well. So, it's a good Friday night. I think they look forward to it.
You leave them a few bits of crust, do you?
I leave them a few bits of crust. Anyway, so Mr. Mitch. So Mr. Mitch has had problems with his dad as well. Yeah, just a surgery, broken hip. I hope he's getting well there, Mr. Mitch. Yeah.
Sorry to hear that, Mr. Mitch.
To you. Mr. Mitch, he voted on Monday. Just trying to catch up. Oh God, this thing here. Sometimes it's just.
Want me to read a couple of them for you, Warren?
Well, if you just keep anything that's relevant, everybody's chatting amongst themselves.
Everything your what do you call them? Your followers say is relevant, isn't it?
That's right. Sometimes they're just talking to each other. David Eskay.
Sometimes they're just talking crap.
So Sean Marks joined us. G'day, Sean. How you doing? David Eskay, he's joined us. Stuck in Florida. Good morning. How you doing? Who else we got?
Typing like crazy.
Mr.
Typing
Mitch.
like crazy.
I know, well, it's going to be a good subject if we can actually stay on subject today. Augie's going to have to be the guy that calls a timeout, just like a political debate, you know.
What does he say? Thai Western relationship. I don't know who that is. A new guy. I haven't heard of that. She said, Thailand is
You mean
also much
You don't have
changing.
to use the mute button.
You have to mute it. Yeah, you have to use the mute button so we can all get a word in.
Said what you could have enjoyed 10 years ago, you might not be able to enjoy now. That's an interesting comment. That's true.
Yes, well, we did elaborate on that a little bit. I think that was when you were just.
Was it when I was still putting on my pajamas?
So I was still putting the pajamas on, yeah. But yeah, so things were a little bit more liberal back then. As I was sort of saying, Thais still have the Thai smile, and everything's okay. But I think there's still there's more of a reserved inner thought process going on. Got to be careful these days what you say, because the junta they will you can't have free speech, political dissent.
I'm not
and
going to
things
say
like
any political stuff on your channel.
Yeah.
I put it on places where nobody sees it.
Yeah, political dissent and things like that, that can get you into all sorts of trouble. Most recently, there was the issue with the restaurant and the defamation case. Leaving defamatory or just bad restaurant reviews can have
Especially if you're living there.
Yeah,
Especially if you're living there. Jesus Christ.
It's all been settled out of court, but that's another issue. That's obviously this is the nature of we've got with the whole. I suppose the last 10 years of growth of everybody can get on the internet, right, and say what the hell they want, right. Well, 10 years ago, or let's say 15 years ago, pre-Facebook, but I think Facebook really has only been the last 10 years for most people. But pre-Facebook, you talk to somebody, you don't go up and sort of, slap on the face and say, "Hey, you dirty kid," and stuff like that. You just don't do that. It's just not the way you lived life. You would be polite in most company, unless of course you were down the pub and it's one of those sort of days where you're just having a pub night out and anything goes. But generally,
nothing. $10, Warren. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw that. It'll ring in a second.
Oh, okay. Hello, Warren. That's a nice one.
Yeah. G'day, Dindu. Good to see you there. But yeah, so 10 years ago, you were careful about what you said in company. That's the way we were. Our moral compass was set more attuned with a cohabitation society where you meet people. Now, with the obviously growth of the internet, it's a completely different story. You say what the hell you want, and you hide under the anonymity of your own name. Nobody knows where you are. You're just an IP address, and people just feel that they've got the freedom to say what the hell they want. There we go. The thing was a little bit slow to get the little jingle going there. Dindu, good on you.
The thing is, if you wouldn't say it face to face, then you shouldn't. Especially if it's rude or impolite or disagreeable, then have the courage not to just hide behind your keyboard.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's what they.
G'day, Warren. How you going?
G'day,
Hello.
Stephen and Stephen.
Hello, Mr. Clark.
So I
G'day,
want to know
Turkey. How you going, mate?
if he didn't
There's
do
stuff-
nothing,
there's stuff
what
on here
didn't
you'll
he
lose.
do?
Yeah. What was that, Augie? Augie
I've
said,
got plenty of penguins in the division ready to attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stephen, you lose every time you have a go at me. Why don't you give it a miss, mate? It'd be nice.
They're going to
Seriously.
confuse.
Come on,
you're gonna
guys.
confuse everybody.
Take a step back and look at what you're doing. Come on.
yeah, Augie.
Take it
What
easy.
what did you say there, Augie? Let Augie out of it. There is a bit of a delay for Augie because he's the other side of the country, other side of the planet.
I was just saying, if he didn't do nothing, What didn't he do?
It didn't do nothing. But anyway.
That's his handle. Didn't do nothing.
So anyway, Stephen, we are talking about, is Thailand right for you? We've got, we're bidding, like, let's spin this a bit more. We did the video yesterday, and you can't do much in the video in 15 minutes without really getting a long-winded discussion. But I thought 2 hours is a good time to really sort of let it fly, and all the good points and bad points of living in Thailand. And as Stephen Monash was just saying there, it's the current climate of anybody can say what they want online, but we had the restaurant issue
to a certain degree, Warren. Yeah, to a certain degree, but the military will do something about it if you get too boisterous.
That's it. Yeah. So it does.
If you're living in Thailand, you really have to watch what you're saying. And a lot of people outside of Thailand don't understand that why Warren is on his soapbox and yelling out and screaming in the middle of the street, because he probably values his life. Not to those extremes, but you know what I mean. So there's only a limited amount of stuff that's Warren or anybody in Thailand can say about the Jonto if they want to stay in the country. Yeah. Is Thailand good for food for me? Yes, it's better than Australia, I think. And what's wrong with Thailand? Not much at all.
By the way, I did hear that Australia's letting people out of the country if you're going to take a 3-month sabbatical.
Yeah, New Zealand apparently.
New Zealand are doing it too.
You go to Adelaide or something like that.
Okay.
Tasmania. We can go to Tasmania if we're really good.
And Perth are going over to Perth. Nobody goes to Perth, but
best part of Australia.
So it'll open it up. You'll get a lot of migrants over there now. A lot of people visiting over there. A lot of Chinese live in Perth now.
We're letting
price of your property will go completely down.
From Penguin Island, you can come into Thailand.
Penguin Island. What's Penguin Island? What's that? Are you talking about the protester Penguin? Are you referring to him? Are you?
He did a good video of that, Warren.
Is that one of your cryptic jokes? Is that a cryptic joke?
Yeah, just for you. Did you see that,
okay,
Warren?
No, I didn't.
Did you see that, Warren?
I didn't see it.
He did a video on the main. Yeah, you don't watch Stephen's videos, do you?
Well, I didn't sort of come up on my playlist, and nobody mentioned it. So
you haven't got him on your playlist. Oh,
no, it's just that I only really watch Thailand-related videos if somebody says, "Need to check this out." Like I heard, I noticed.
Saying Stephen's videos are not about Thailand.
No, it's just nobody's made mention of it.
I know you haven't, Warren. It's what he's trying to put into your mouth.
Nobody's even talked about it. Nobody's even talked about it.
But
he did a good video.
Steve, why don't you let Warren give his point of view and stop
anyway,
your point of view into his lips, okay?
Hold on. Just time out. Right. So just one thing
You're only joking, are you?
Shut up.
I didn't realise that.
One thing I was going to say, right, I want to give a shout out to Simon Loss, which is Land of Smiles Thailand. He did give a mention to one of my videos I did last December, which was the one I did in Char with Rob. And what happened is I just suddenly started, 500 plays in the last 24 hours on that video from 9 months ago. What was going on? Tracked it down. It was he gave me a shout out to one of his videos, his most recent video. Gave a shout out to my video, which has got people looking at that video. Had a bit of a jump in subscribers. I think we had about 25 subscribers in 48 hours, just additional to normal. So thanks, Simon. Yep, good. He's a good mate, but again, I don't watch his videos. I don't watch any Thailand videos simply because of the fact that I don't live vicariously through other people's videos. I live in Thailand. But if somebody says...
Very, very well said, Warren. I feel exactly the same, and Steve actually knows that.
I don't have a life. I've got to watch other people's videos.
He's trying to bait you, Warren. He's trying to bait you. Don't worry about it, mate. He's just trying to bait you, Warren.
Where's my gun if I can?
Now I'm baiting him back and he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Gun and shoot that other person on the screen.
Anyway, we're totally forgetting the people actually writing comments in here. Mr. Mitch, I need to reload the line.
All right. Come on, Steve, behave yourself. Come on, mate. Lift your game a bit. Come on.
Shut up, Penguin.
Just making sure, Mr. Mitch, I recently used Line for the first time this week. Worked great. Spoke with a friend of mine in Thailand. Yeah, I said these apps really make long distance relationships really a thing of reality. Like I said, we keep on getting back to it. Like SMS.
What are we talking here, Warren? Cyber sex?
Well, no. Well, I think I think they call it sexting. Is the word sexting? Right, but back 11 years ago when I started dating Chanya, it was SMS messages, right? And that's what we're talking about language, right? So, 11 years ago, it started the broken, what they call the
Yeah.
Kinglish, the broken English, where you shorten your English down similar to the way the Thai sentence structure works.
Hello, darling.
And you fall into that process, and it's very hard to break that simplicity.
Oh, so that you formed yourself a habit talking like that, have you?
Pretty much, and it's very hard to think outside the box. When I'm talking with a bunch of foreigners, I talk normally because I'm talking with a bunch of foreigners. But as soon as Chanya walks in the room or wants to do it, it's just, hi, darling, you have a good day at work today? You have good day work today? I don't say, did you have a good day at work today? I just shorten down, good day at work today?
Yeah.
And it's just a natural process, right? But it's perfectly all right. They don't discriminate against it.
Well, she'd probably understand you better if you spoke like that.
As long as you don't wear matching
The
t-shirts.
lungs don't understand that. They look at you talking to a baby talk and think, oh, look how he's talking. No, he's not talking like that. He's talking so she understands him perfectly.
That's it.
I wouldn't talk to Mel as much, but Mel went to university and learned English and stuff like that, but I would occasionally speak like Warren speaks.
Right, yeah. So what was that, Oggy?
Yeah.
I was saying, isn't that the Thai sentence structure though? Much more
Yeah.
simple.
Well, that's again sort of part of the system, is the fact that when you look at the Thai sentence structure, gin khao mai, eat food now, eat food yes, or eat food question, like gin khao mai, hu mai, are you hungry? This is, you don't think about it, right? So the hu mai, just hungry. That's all they're saying, hungry. It's like, are you hungry? But it's basically hungry, question mark. Gin khao ruyang, sort of,
I've been learning Spanish there, Warren.
yeah, the shops. Raka taurai. This, how much? That's the sentence structure. You don't sort of say.
With the Thai accent, not an Australian accent.
Well, that's how I speak. That's why I don't speak much Thai, because I really haven't mastered the.
So my day, road crap, one day.
I love when you say that. It's really good. Anyway, let's try and make sure we don't leave these people in the lurch down here.
All right. Big Bear Joe, I never watch, I never sub, I never donate. I use the neighbour's Wi-Fi on a found laptop in my mother's basement. Living off the neighbour's fruit trees, rent free.
Is he in Thailand?
I don't know where he is.
Big Bear, anyway. Good to have you along, Big Bear.
Living off his neighbour's fruit trees.
Christina Miller, greetings for the first time visitor Thailand. Which area do you suggest visit? Cost and a factor. Well, I think I have to sort of mention the fact that the islands are a very nice place to visit if money is not really an issue, right? The island life and island lifestyle and the holiday areas down south, you really can't go past it. I've never been there myself. The furthest south I've been is was it Chatanamburi on the east coast, and then I think Hoi Hin on the west coast. That's as far as I've gone down. So
You should be dragged through the streets and shot, Warren, for doing that.
Stay away when they
that
have
room.
away when they have
No,
those
no,
moon
shot
parties.
would be too good. Just flogged,
Flogged.
Yeah, tarred and feathered as well.
tarred, feathered.
but I might like
Oh,
flogging.
where does Chanya come from? She comes from.
No, Sonya's born
Right.
Sonya's born in Bangkok. She is a Bangkok born and grown up girl, right?
What about? I thought you had relatives in Sukhothai or something.
But mother comes from Sukhothai. Mother.
And you've been there a few times. You've never been to the temples there.
Oh, I haven't been to the temples, no, because the fact that the Thais don't go to the
It's the
temples.
most amazingest thing. It's equal to the pyramids, mate, and you've never seen it.
I've seen it in pictures, but as I said, when we're up,
Oh, Jesus. Tar and feather even dragging through the streets.
when we're in Sukhothai, it's about family.
Yeah,
We're hanging out with family. Family don't want to go to see the temples. You're hanging out with
They're
family.
very far from it, Warren. How far are you from it?
I think about 30 kilometres.
Jesus, mate, it's something very special. It
Yeah,
really is.
we're in Sissamrong, so that's a little bit northeast
Yeah.
of Sukhothai, about 20 kilometres northeast of Sukhothai.
It's one of the places. I've done several videos on it. It's one of the places that sticks in your mind.
Look,
Like,
if
it's
we organise
absolutely
if we organised a situation where we had our own car, right, and just not the car like the 4-wheel drive, because four bloody drivers a gas guzzler. But if we had our own car up there and it was just me and Chanya, we could leave family and go somewhere else. But because we're with family, we're only there for 2 to 3 days at a time, right? Everybody wants to do their own thing, but do it together as family. So, they better, like we might do a trip down to the supermarket to buy a bunch of food, and we might go and do, like I think last Songkran, we did a trip up to pray. But we did that as a family, and so you're doing things as a family. And the one thing the Thais simply just do not do, they do not go to the ruined temples. It's just the last thing on their mind. There's so much more to do.
What do they call them over there? They're not called ruined temples. They're called
I don't know. They're just called what?
historic parks.
Historic parks, yeah. So, but that's the thing. So like if it was just me and Shania, we'd have to account for everybody else. We might go and do it. Or if I was up there living there, I'd do it on a bike.
Mate, if you ever get a chance, go and see it. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, well, it's organising the length of stay so it works out, that we can do that, and not with having family. Because when we go up there, Uncle's usually with us. We're taking 7 or 8 people in the 4-wheel drive, and it's just it's a family affair.
Standing room only.
It is. It's a sitting room only. Mr. Mitch, America is literally wide open. If you want to drive across the country, I can stop. I can. Stopping anywhere I want. If I would go off the rails, if it was locked down. Oh yeah. Yeah, Australia's a big country too. If you overlay it, it's very much similar sort of size to America from east coast to west coast. That's why we never visit Western Australia. You guys in the west coast might actually decide to go to San Francisco or something, sometime in your life. But people living in Sydney would never think about going to Perth. There's just nothing there.
No, just nothing there. It's only people that are trying to look like millionaires over there.
Is that what it is? And of course, same goes like Sydney going to Tasmania. You got to get on a boat to do that.
When you look at their travel brochures on Perth, a lot of ugly people over there. I don't know what's going on over there.
It's inbreeding.
That's probably it.
Tasmania.
So it's kind of like the South.
There's a bit of gene pool sharing up there that shouldn't be done, I think.
Anyway, let's get back on subject.
Per capita. You get jealous.
Let's get back on track.
We're part of Australia. We're part of Australia, not that friggin' island.
Yeah.
Prison Island, Tasmania.
We're part of Australia.
Yeah,
One of the first gentlemen, Steve. Look it up in the history book.
Anyway.
Go sideways and you're in Africa.
Time out. Okay. What the next thing we're like, traffic. Let's talk about traffic. Traffic in Thailand.
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix got nothing to do with traffic. But traffic, like if you're going to be here in
town traffic.
I don't remember that song. But yeah, if you're travelling
my
between,
dad told me about it.
if you're travelling between maybe sort of Rayong on the east coast down to Hua Hin on the west coast, you are going to have to deal with traffic a lot. Even the major roads connecting those three, through Bangkok, even those major roads, any time has always got cars on it, and people seem to have no concern about what's in your rear vision mirror. And there is an unwritten rule here in the Thailand driving system, the fact that you must give way to anybody that's in front of you. Right? If you don't, then it could be your problem. And that means the fact that you will literally find big doubles doing U-turns from one side of like the connecting freeways into the other, with total disregard to the 50 cars coming along the other way. Right? And again, he's in front of you. If you don't give away, that's it. It's your fault. It's not his fault for doing a U-turn in the middle of a fucking excuse the French, and sitting in front of 3 lanes of traffic, right? And then driving at 5 kilometres an hour just to get up to speed. But that's the way it is here in Thailand. Traffic is going to really frustrate a lot of people. Probably even more so.
See how important your left-hand mirror is when you drive in Thailand?
Even more so the Americans, because
you don't worry about your right-hand mirror, which you do in the West. It's your left-hand mirror. Jeez, they over. I know when you're turning left, Warren, you don't drive a car much, do you? Anyway, when you're turning left, I'll turn with you the motorbikes, and then you look and you think, oh my God, you know.
Yeah, that's another thing we never really talk about. When you're in a taxi, make sure you look opening the door, because
that's right.
Those motorcycles, they'll just fly down the inside there and take your door out, right? Although you're in front of them, it's your
pays, Warren?
It's your fault.
That's right.
Right, it's
and
your fault.
The cops will be called. You'll lose your passport until you pay for the door, and the door is very expensive.
Yes,
doesn't matter that taxi driver stops. It's up to you to look and see if there's any cars coming.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get a knee replacement.
I'm talking about motorcycles. Motorcycles cutting up
inside lanes. I had to get a knee replacement
lanes.
in Bangkok. I had to get one knee replaced because it banged on the side of a bus when I was on the back of a motorbike.
Did you?
But I could have.
Could have, yeah.
I mean, I'm tall. My knee sprays, they stick right out. And my head, is right above everybody else's, and
right. I think Mark for doing so anybody along front, alongside, or behind you, you got to give way to you in Thailand if you're a foreigner.
6'3" inches, Steve. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, no, that's all these days. But it is like if you're on a motorbike, you've got to keep pulling in your elbows, pulling in your knees. And especially when they go between the buses, and the other traffic, it just you got to be alert.
Yeah. I don't get on, Stephen. I'm too big for him, tall too, and it sticks. I stick out a bit too, and you can't really get your knees together because of the little bike and shit like that. And,
Sean Mark here sort of on the language. Sean Mark here sort of mentioned that his ex never wanted him to learn Thai. I think it was so she could secret talk. But I would figure out what to say, why you're talking about, and she would ask how I know, because he's secretly learning Thai behind her back. And again, in my case, I do hear probably 3 times more Thai than I speak. So I do know the basic gist of conversation.
It's true. You become literate at listening to it, don't you?
Yeah.
Like you can't actually reply to it, but you sort of you hear it every day, and you think, I've heard that word before. I don't know what it means, but I know it's not good.
Like that little piece in the video.
Sometimes it's good though.
That little section in the video from yesterday where Chanya talks about Thailand in Thai language, right? I understand about a third of what she's saying, as she's speaking. But for me to actually sit down and translate that, mate, I would have been there for 10 hours. I said, stuff it, I'm just going to get the video out. I was hopefully Google was going to translate it for me, but you can't sort of dual language and upload into Google. You only have a primary language, and you can only then add a secondary language, on the subtitles later. It's not like they'll actually scan the whole video for Thai language. They'd probably have to upload the video to another channel, say the language is in Thai, and sort of get it to translate it that way,
Must be some way of doing it, Warren.
Yeah, I know. Well, unless because you do what Sarah does, which is, sit there and actually manually translate it, but anyway,
take up the Steve Monash course on Thai.
Take up the Steve Monash. Yeah. Yeah. So the things that are going to annoy you here are the humidity, the language, the traffic, but I think they're the only 3 things that can get a little bit tiresome sometimes. The rest of it, right, I have absolutely no issue with that. Like, I don't worry about what the Thailand government's doing. That's the Thailand government. It's got nothing to do with me. I think the sense of freedom.
Don't mention the war.
The sense of freedom you have here.
I think, Warren, as far as that goes, it's none of our business. It's their business. They've already been running their country. And that's what made the land of smiles, was the Thai people. I'm not interfering or saying anything about the Thai government at all. I hope they work it out without violence. That's all I think. Yeah,
but as I said, the whole freedom aspect, like, I do feel freer here than I do in Australia, or ever did in Australia. Like, if I jumped on the scooter right now and went out in the street without a helmet, right on the footpath up to the local Burger King, right, grab the burger. grabbed the burger, then rode back on the main road, right? No helmet. Then turned around and actually rode back because I left something at the and rode the wrong way, right? Yeah. I don't feel at all bad about that, right? You try and do that in Australia. Jump on a motorcycle without a helmet and ride down the main road the wrong way, right? 3 minutes and you'll be freaking thrown in the clink by the police. That's not freedom. Thailand here has freedom to do those sort of things. Are you to inconvenience somebody else? That's pretty much the rule of thumb.
Yeah, but Warren, let me ask you a question. Do you feel safer on the Thai footpaths or do you feel safer on the Australian footpaths when you're walking?
When I'm walking, it doesn't bother me.
You're not going to get run over by a Kenworth.
But just again, the motorcycles generally out west when they're on the footpath give way to the people. It's a done thing.
I've seen them on footpaths, Warren. I've never had a problem with them. They're usually flying along pretty.
There's a few arseholes. This issue about the footpaths is generally confined to Bangkok Central, around the heavy traffic areas and the places where you got no footpath, right? And the motorcycles they're discriminated. That basically it's primarily the wind taxis, right? Because they want to get the next fare, right? And it is a cutthroat job, the wind taxis.
Unfortunately, I got a bit of a problem with that, Warren. Mel's father was killed by a taxi driver, motorbike taxi driver, crossing the road. He killed him. Yeah. He was 80 something or other. It's not a good thing, but I mean, I've never had a problem. It's when when I've seen them on the footpaths riding to avoid something or go around something, they're usually at walking pace. So, it's these ones that take off from traffic lights and spin around the corners and stuff, and they're killing pedestrians doing that sort of shit.
Yeah, that just basically it's about the money, right? If you've ever, how does Thailand work? It's about the money.
Warren, they've got a family to feed, haven't they? I understand that, but Mel had the opportunity to put this guy into jail. The judge said, "Do you want him to go to jail?" or blah blah. And she said no. Wouldn't put him in because he had a family. He had a wife and a newborn child. Yep. He was just trying to make money for his family. But that's the thing. There's a saying in Thailand. I don't know if you heard it, Warren. Thailand taxi drivers never die. What is it? Thai motorbike drivers never die. Indestructible.
There are they? I don't know. I remember seeing. I remember 11 years ago. Actually, 14 years ago, in Silom, just across from the road from where we had the office there. I don't know. I really don't know whether he died, but he was impaled on a 2-inch what do you call it? Gal steel pipe. Which was poking out the back of a truck. There he was, basically.
Why not? Couldn't fit it on there, Warren. Come on, don't blow the truck driver. Did they sharpen it?
No, seriously. It was a sight to see. He's just sitting there, arms. The bike was underneath the back of the truck, and he was sitting there, literally impaled on this fucking. Well, you said it again. On this 2-inch water
off,
pipe.
Warren, if you can hear us, your sound's gone off.
Yeah, 2-inch water pipe. It was a sight to see.
Your sound went off there. We didn't hear what you said.
Didn't you? Okay, I'm not.
about a minute. I lost you for about 30 seconds.
It's all right. Sean Mark, I wouldn't be as paranoid as if I was if everyone would stop talking about me behind my back. Dallo, they don't talk about you behind your back, do they? Thais would never do that, surely. Try walking through the footpath in Saigon City. Trent Travels, g'day. How you doing, Trent? Not the new name on the channel there. Good to have you along.
Dallo's given another one.
Oh, Dallo. Thank you very much, Dallo. A little jingle in a second. See, off to the island. Enjoy the weekend. See you all off to the island. Enjoy. Which island are you off to?
Enjoy the island, Dallo.
He's off to Tasmania.
He's off to Tasmania. He's going to see. Going to go see Stephen, are you?
Apparently he's dying, Warren. He's dying, so he's going to go to Perth.
He's going to go to Philippines. Is there a race on? I don't
know. He's coming here to cheer himself up before he goes.
Jesus Christ.
I hate Perth too, so don't worry.
Sean Mark, as far as
this room hates Perth. Why don't you get out of there then, Stephen?
The COVID.
You can get out if you want to.
Swim to Tasmania, I suppose.
Live a life, mate. Live a life. Get out of there, for God's sake.
Okay, sure, Mark. Here's some of the good points. As far as in topic I can, I can live here for over $3,000 for housing and $1,000 just for groceries plus everything else a month. I can
don't go down that slope again. We don't want to talk about the cost of living.
That can
I'll die.
cover an entire month of messing around. Yeah, the cost of living, right? That's like, it's a very open-ended discussion, but you could live like a Thai, okay. And when I used to say that, okay, here's an example local. So Peck, which had the shop stake down the end of the road, which is now moved back home because he didn't want to pay the 5,000 baht a month rent for the shop.
Was he closed down, has he?
No, he moved down to, and he's actually got his restaurant in his house, right, where he lives, and he's doing that up. And we've been down we've been down there once, but I just order from Grab now, so he knows what I like, and I just order from Grab, so he gets delivered. But right, so he was looking for a table hand. Right, just a waitress 6 days a week, right? So that's from 2 o'clock in the afternoon till 10 o'clock at night. So what's that? That's an 8-hour shift,
8 hours.
right? Right. That he was going to be paying her 10,000 baht a month. A month was the salary for that job.
That's 2,000 over the minimum wage.
10,000 baht a month. Right, now the minimum wage here in Thailand is supposed to be 300 baht a day, which is 300, which is 9,000 baht a month. So it's a little bit over.
Is it? I thought it was 8,000. Oh, never mind.
Does that include a happy ending or what?
30 days or not.
Right. So so that's that's a minimum wage restaurant. She got to keep any tips she made, of course. So tips were on, that was your own. But when you start to think of it, 10,000 baht a month is typically what a Thai, working class Thai is earning. If as you move into some of the different sectors, it goes up and up and up. But typically a Thai is earning 10,000. So as a foreigner, yes, you could probably live like a Thai, which is, noodles, kapan mu for breakfast, noodles for lunch, maybe krapal musab, gai dao for dinner, right? That's 50, 100, 150.
Much breakfast?
120 baht a day in food. That'll keep you well fed. And those servings are, like the street food servings. They're not like restaurant servings where they get this little bit in the centre and and it's got all these pretty little designs and sauce over the top. No, these are platefuls of food for 50 baht, 40 baht, and that'll keep you fed all day. You want water on top of that, so you have 3 or 4 bottles of water at 10 baht a bottle. So that's maybe 80, 100 baht for water supply. You could always, keep those bottles and refill them at the little water filling machines for 2 baht. So rather than you buy 1 bottle for 10 baht, then you can refill it for 2 baht. Live like a Thai. You could comfortably live here like a Thai for 15,000 baht a month, and that's not a joke. Well, that's $500 US, isn't it? Yeah, 15. Yeah, about that $500 US a month.
More, a bit more.
But it's a Thai. It's a Thai lifestyle. Yeah. So I think 31,000 baht to $1,000 or something. So $1.31 or whatever the conversion rate.
Comparison is with Australia. How much we pay over here? How much do you cost you to live a month there over there, Steve? How do you eat? Do you take away? What do you eat? Dog food? What do you do over there in Perth?
You got it. You got it the first. No. I never think about my cost of living because I get too sad. I mean,
right. Okay, so we'll move on from that.
Utilities. Put it this way: the utilities I pay here would be more than your whole cost of living in Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah, our water bill here is very cheap. I don't even pay that. Mother pays that because they're all the ones always, as the girls come in, they'll probably shower as well.
What you're saying, Warren, you don't shower?
I shower once a day, thank you.
I'm not putting in for water.
But like the girls come here to to work here in the sewing sweatshop downstairs, and they'll come in and they'll shower. They're always showering, you know. Thai shower all the time. So, mother pays for the water bill.
3 times a day, 4 times a day.
But the water bill, right? Okay, that's about 210 baht a month.
That's so sick.
Right. Now, on the flip side, I do pay the electricity because I run the air conditioner pretty much every day I'm here.
How much you pay for that, Warren?
Well, when it was just me and Chanya living here with one air conditioner, right, our bill was about 1,500 baht a month. Right, but our electricity bill runs at about 5,000 baht a month now because we've also got an air conditioner in the mother's room, which she will use at night time. Plus those sewing machines, we've got 6 sewing machines downstairs. Now each one of those sewing machines has a 300 watt motor that runs continuously. Right. Jesus
Christ, sounds like Mel's place.
Right. Now, I don't begrudge it. Like they said, they probably couldn't run that sweatshop downstairs. Right, right. If I didn't pay the bill, I paid the electricity bill.
You playing video games while there's a sweatshop downstairs?
That's right. I call it a sweatshop. They don't have air conditioning. I'm not putting air conditioning. I am no way am I putting air conditioning downstairs to actually sew in comfort. It's going to be a sweatshop.
Or just comes out of his room to throw a t-shirt down to them every now and then. Yeah, fix the hole in that.
I do. Every time I lose a button, I just take it downstairs. Mum, can you do this? Mum, she goes, she'll do it, and she'll drop whatever she's doing, and she'll actually fix my clothes, before she'll continue with the normal, making the clothes stuff that she does.
And you order your food at the same time, don't you, as you're throwing down the t-shirts?
What's Andy Stubbs here right now about Western Australia? Andy Stubbs. News. Western Australia is going to succeed from the rest of Australia.
We are, Andy. We are.
No one will even notice they're gone.
They're building a wall.
Yeah. Big Bear Joe Wazza doesn't shower, doesn't wash his clothes, doesn't drink water. No. This is vodka.
Emeroy, right?
Yeah, Emeroy and vodka and Emeroy bun.
Breaking
news.
See Robert Groves' bill there, Warren, 125 baht for is it water? I think that is, and 2,200 for baht for electricity. Yeah, mine was about the same, but Mal's house is very big. So we had an industrial air conditioning downstairs, so
we pay about $60
air conditioning on day and night upstairs. So
I pay $60 a month for the internet.
Yeah, but those sewing machines downstairs, they do consume a lot of electricity. It wouldn't make that business viable if she was paying that.
Warren, do they have electricity in Perth?
I don't know. I don't know.
They just rub 2 sticks together.
I thought they had bicycles hooked up to generators.
That's why we're building the wall, to keep you rabbits out.
Another new name, 3 Jazz. How you doing? G Player. He's also joined. Some whole bunch of new names here. We've got a good crowd. Going today, mate. It's a good topic.
40 watching there, Warren.
42 people watching now. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I don't know. Anybody check the like? Okay, like it. It's been an hour. How many likes we got on the channel? Come on.
Yeah, I was going to say, pick them up. We've only got 12.
15 likes. That's it. I'm out of here. You're not liking this stream. I'm out of here. See it.
Thumbs up, guys. Hit the thumbs up.
Well, isn't it amazing? No thumbs down.
And it's appreciated by the channel.
No thumbs down. Well, look, Stephen Monash hasn't done a thumbs down yet.
Want it, don't you? I'm tempted. I'm on it. You want it? I'll give it to you. Here we go. There we go. There it is.
Oh, now we got 2 thumb down.
this got so silly so quickly. Rick, you keep stuff.
3. Up to 3.
You should seriously. You should see Stephen Monash and Stephen Clark go on our little private messenger on Facebook. They're always at each other. They really are.
We have
I talk to Steve Monash every night. I have to because he's a pest. He's stalking me.
Yeah, he's a stalker.
How many times did you ring me last night, Stephen? What, about 10?
Well, unfortunately, Stephen.
What a bitch.
Stephen Monash is illiterate, right? He's a teacher, he's literate, right? He likes to have conversation, right? And unfortunately, there's nobody in Perth that actually speaks English to the level that he does. So he feels very alone, you know. Why he actually goes to why he has to go and speak to somebody in Victoria, in Tasmania, I don't know, but
if you talk to him for a while, Warren, I think you've noticed he starts dropping the big words and starts talking normal.
Yes, I know.
I can't get a word in.
That's another thing. He rang me up once and told me
you can't get a word in. We're not going to let him get a word in.
For 30 friggin' minutes, it was like listening to a radio station. And he'd say, "What do you think about that, Steve?" You couldn't even answer him.
Back after, and you'll see who's done 90% of the talking.
He won't even let you answer.
See what I can do.
Friggin' turkey.
I can actually mute. Look, I'm loving this. I can actually mute these people on Discord. You can't mute them on Facebook, unfortunately. But you know,
mute Stephen.
Yeah, I'm just not going to do it. That's all, because I like the way that it's fun having the two of you going at it all the time. Danny Stubbs wants to go to visit Perth. Why would you? I want to go to Perth to visit my brother. Can't go.
Great over here.
Warren, I'll ask you another question. Have you ever been to Perth?
Nope.
Neither have I.
Have I?
Anybody that's been there?
Have I ever wanted to go to Perth?
No.
No. Well, actually, don't tell a lie, right? I wanted to actually take the Indian Express rail trip, right, which goes to Perth. But what I would do is I would take the rail. I would take the rail trip there, and then I would instantly get on the rail trip and go back again. Just because I like trains better than I like the idea of living and staying in Perth.
At least you don't need a passport. You need one to go to Tasmania.
Is that right?
Very funny. I'll put that in the funny book, will you? Write that down so I can use it later. Oh.
Penguin Island. Tasmania, or some people call it Penguin Island.
Patrick Burrell Senior. G'day, Patrick. How you doing? Good to have you along. Paul in Sydney. We said Paul is still in the Sydney Aussie. We don't need Western Australia anymore. Yeah, well, I think they tried. Somebody tried to secede Western Australia from the Commonwealth, didn't they? Wasn't there a succession?
It'd actually be a good. I don't think anybody.
That was us. We put
Earth's missing.
We're making Australia great again. We're halving it. We're putting it in half, and the rest of you can do what you want.
Three Jazz has asked a question: is laundry hills hoist or a machine dry? No, we hills hoist. Well, actually, it's not even a hills hoist. It's a fabricated metal frame that Pa made about 5 years ago that sits out the front outside on the street.
It's a clothesline, basically.
It's like a clothesline, but it's just a piece of.
The spinning clothesline was invented in Australia, Warren.
It was. The hills hoist is an Australian invention.
And what else was invented in Australia?
And then
it's quite
putting two ropes on either side of the hills hoist and dragging and spinning it around, and the other people hanging on the other two arms. That used to be the best game you could play ever.
Yeah.
Right. See how fast you can spin before these people fall off.
What happened to the effects of gravity?
Oh, not only that, but the thing is, if you actually put some plastic on the ground and put water, you could actually do like this body surfing thing. I don't know if you've tried. Like we used to do so many things on the hills hoist.
But the cement mixer was also invented in Australia.
Cement mixer?
Try that, Stephen. The whole clothesline will collapse if you get on it.
Yeah. Really? Do you think so? Let me see, mate. Let me see. No, he wants to play games. I'll play games with him. You want to play games on public in a public toilet? I'll do it with you.
You sick bastard.
You calling me fat, you fat bastard? What are you, Steve? What? 6
keep
foot
the leg,
three,
keep the leg, keep it clean, keep it clean.
I'm fat, am I? Wow.
Keep it clean. So I know.
I'm 100 kilos and what, 6 foot? So I'm fat, am I? No worries. Okay. Cool.
Tasmania. Andy Stubbs, 2 heads better than the one. Yeah,
you're
right.
just well fed, Oggy. You're not fat.
I'm not fat. I'm under tall.
Now look, let's try to we've been an hour into this. Well, let's try to get back on Thailand and stop digging each other in. We don't want to know about Western Australia or Tasmania or Australia in particular.
Exactly. I don't want to know about Western Australia. I hate the joint.
But yeah,
He's having a dig at me and he can't take it back. That's the problem with it.
It's all right. Just stop digging at each other, okay?
Especially outfits, the dums. What's the bit about the penguin? What is that all about? I don't understand.
Shush.
I'll move you to
Shush.
another. I'll move you to another lobby, and you can stash it out for it.
I don't know.
Yeah. The fatter the berry, the sweeter the juice, according to Big Bear Joe.
There we go. But yeah, like I say, the cost of living, you can live really inexpensively here in Thailand. Roof over your head, clothes from the market, and live a Thai lifestyle. That's really something that if you chose to do. Whether you would do that or not is another thing altogether.
Well, the big three are cheap, aren't they? Utilities, food, or big four. Utilities, food, your housing, your rent, and your transport.
It costs me, for me and Chanya and our lifestyle here costs us about $3,000 Australian a month. Now, what that is in America?
What, 50 US?
It's about $50 US. That's
That's
right.
cheap. That's cheap.
US, yeah. So the US dollars. So if I go
Sorry,
3,000,
I couldn't know.
right, that's $2,100 US a month. That's an equivalent. So that's our lifestyle, and that's a fairly decent lifestyle. We get ample food to eat. Chanya gets clothes, I buy her a dress every couple of weeks because that's what floats her boat. She loves dresses. Pays for all the things we do. Pays for my nights out in city and drinking with my mates and things like that. Because like a night out in the city is going to cost me 3,000 to 4,000 baht, no matter what you do.
$2,100 a month you pay.
Yeah, that's my allocation. That's what I
Well, you
spend.
want to live, yeah. Okay. Fair
If you let Chanya share some of your dresses, you'd save half of that.
Yeah, right. If I could start wearing her dresses, yeah, I'd have to lose
Nobody
some
could wear
weight
your
first.
dress, could you? They're like a tent.
Yeah, I could share. I could probably share dresses with Mother. Yeah, she's rather large around the girth as well, so I'd probably fit into her clothes.
As well as who, Warren?
Chanya's mum.
Yeah, you said large around the girth. As well as who? You mean you're talking about? Yeah, you're talking about not me. I hope.
As it was me, I could
he
probably
wasn't
fit into Mother's dresses. I could probably
Steve, he
fit.
wasn't having a go at you.
If you stop having a go at each other, you probably hear what I said. I could fit into Mother's dresses. Okay. Big Bear Joe. Big Bear Joe has actually joined the channel. G'day, Big Bear Joe. You going to come and say hello or what? Maybe having a bit of sensibility. Oggie's probably sitting there in the background just laughing his ass off at these two.
I used to live in Wong Wien Yai.
Wong Wien Yai?
It was decent and accessible. Thoughts on the area? No thoughts from me. I don't even know what it is.
Wong Wien Yai. It's a Wong Wien Yai. I've done a couple of videos, most recently in the Thailand in my Bangkok Insider. They have the big monument for Tusker and the King Rama V. It's a big sort of circle roundabout. That's where the 320 SP motorcycle shop is. It used to be the end of the western line for the BTS. Or BTS, that's right. No, I've got to do this mixed up all the time. But that's where the train used to terminate. Now it terminates at Bang Hwa. So I know the area fairly well because you used to get off there and you have to get taxis and things like that. As for location for living, there's a lot of high-rise buildings in there now. So being the location, people that want to commute to the city on the BTS. Cost of living there, the price of the property have gone up a bit over the last few years, but it's also dropped down recently because all the Chinese are pulling out and selling their houses, or selling their condos, which were being rented out to their fellow Chinese compatriots as short-time hotels. But since they can't come to Thailand, they're starting to sell their properties. This is the way it is. What's it? US pesos. Same. Agreed. I used to live in Wong Wien. Yeah, it was decent. Yeah, it's a decent place to live. But if you really want to sort of live frugally, you need to come further west now. That's what they call business class living now, where at least one member of the family has some sort of job in Bangkok Central with a multinational, so they're probably bringing in maybe 30,000 baht a month. As a sort of a general average wage. and primarily that's what a sort of a clerical job would probably pay is 25 to 30,000 baht a month for 5 days
30
a
years
week.
ago, 10,000, that was like a really good wage. I mean, that's what the general, the people in the army, high-ranked soldiers and teachers were earning. They had to have a master's, but 10,000 baht was considered pretty high.
Yeah, well,
Now you're saying, well, it's gone up to about 30, is it?
Well, just to give you an example, like when we closed the office here in 2012, my Smart Hands colleague, right, which was the guy that we hired for the Bangkok office to just basically do what I tell you to do, like the Smart Hands, pull that cable out, put that cable in, restart that computer, blah blah, the Smart Hands. He was being paid 45,000 baht a month. So that was an IT.
That's got to be the higher end, yeah.
Yeah, that was an IT engineer. He pretty much managed the office with the purchasing the laptops, configuring the laptops, getting the virus software off the laptops. You got stuck with a problem, fixing the problem, whatever's going wrong. And when I needed him to do something at the server level, let's reroute that through here. Let's do that. Just tell him what to do.
It says here the average. Yeah, you were right, Warren. It says here the average age is about. That's not the average age. Sorry, wage is about 14,700.
Yeah,
15,000.
15,000 baht a month is pretty much average these days for like a shop assistant. If you're working in a supermarket. It's 15,000 baht. If you were working somewhere like in the Power Mall or in what do you call it? The Mall Ban K, in one of those shops there, in one of those one of the department stores. That staff, the assistant, the shop assistant would be paid about 15,000 baht a month if they were doing a regular 40-hour week.
It says here that most people are on about 336 baht a day, and it says here the average wage in Bangkok is so this one says 25,000, so I don't know.
Well, the trouble is when you do statistical averaging, what they should be doing, they should be dropping the bottom 5% of the numbers and the top 5% of the numbers. If you do what they call a mean average statistical thing, you probably sort of see the average wage in Australia, in Thailand, is about 15,000. If you do it top end to bottom end, it skews it, because some people get paid an absolute fortune. Like there is that 1%er class which make an absolute shitload of money. Which then bumps that average up to 25. Yeah.
330.
When I had my restaurant, Warren, it was around 10,000. It was about maybe 3-4 years ago.
But yeah, so as I said, I'll be back to so
that's
a shop assistant. What was that?
Priyat's done that, hasn't he? Priyat's done that. He's put the wages up.
Yeah, it's been one of those contentious issues, because the fact that
that was one of his. What do you call it? One of his campaign promises.
It creates sort of like an artificial inflation, which is not good for the country, unfortunately, because we're only talking about the registered employment side of things. So
about 3 of them.
a street food vendor working the streets probably may not make 300 baht a day, and they cannot do anything about it. A wind taxi driver, now if they're if they're a registered wind taxi driver, through the governmental assistance program, and they're paying their per diem to the government, right, they have to be paid a minimum as well, right? But generally they don't, because most of them that's what they call the casual workforce, right?
Got here the average wage in Bangkok is $800. I don't think that's for all of Thailand, though.
20%.
I don't think. I've met one that pays tax. What do you call them? Vendors.
20% of the workforce here in Thailand is what they call the casual workforce, that doesn't account for anything. It's not on the books, right? It's tax exempt, all that sort of stuff, right? And that, unfortunately, that's where the problem starts, is the fact that they're almost demanding that they also get 300 baht a day. But of course, it's you can't get 300 baht a day if your wage is based on how many wind taxi rides you can do between the top end of our street and the bottom end of our street. It's only a kilometre long. Well, it's actually 800 metres long. How many times do you have to ride up and down at 10 baht a trip, right, to make 300 baht a day? And you also have to pay the rank a certain percentage of that fee. So how many rides is that? I don't know.
I still don't believe the average wage is that high. Maybe in Bangkok, but not the rest of Thailand. 800 US a month. That's getting close to what I earn. I'm not giving any more tips.
That's right, but
What
that's
do you
what
do
that's
for a living, though, Steve?
Obviously not enough. They're not paying me bugger all.
You're not a bad
I
guy
didn't
when you
think
turn your microphone off.
I didn't think it was that high. I didn't think 800. I mean, that's surprising, man.
That's probably government statistics we're looking at here, Warren. I don't know.
yeah.
It's more than
So
double
it
since I was
depends.
there.
Depends on what statistics you look at. Look, I spent 15 years working for Aztec or IRI, and you would cry if you saw what you can do with statistics, right? You think
I believe
like
it,
it's like we could go to 10 different customers, right, and show them how their product was working better than their competition.
Let's look at my bank account if
Right.
I want to cry.
Just
When
by
I had
just
my
by
restaurant,
just by tweaking those numbers. They're not faking the
when I
numbers,
had
it's
my
just showing.
restaurant, Warren,
Yeah,
sorry, I'm talking over the top here.
that's right. Yeah,
When I had my restaurant,
Used
I
to
was
it.
paying them about 8,000 to the waiters. Okay?
yep.
The average wage for a cook was 15,000,
Hmm.
usually about 10,000. So that's probably 3-4 years ago. So Priad has put the wages up quite a substantial amount,
Yeah, it's gone up.
which is good for the people.
I think it's
good
gone
for
up about
Thailand.
7 or 8% in 4 years.
I don't think he's put them up personally.
And when I was giving that money out, Warren, paying that amount of money, that was a very good wage.
Three Jess has asked a
for-
question.
for-
Sorry, last question. He says, if you had to buy a house, which we're in the process of buying, where would you pick? Well, I wouldn't pick Bangkok because it's Bangkok, and I'd have to deal with immigration in Bangkok. That's why we're doing the next province over, which is Nakhon Pathom. But we're pretty close to the border, so we're still fairly close to Bangkok. I won't be able to jump in a taxi easily there. I'd have to grab taxi, which is going to cost a little bit more. But not that much more. Like when you say a grab taxi from here to the nearest MRT is about 80 baht, but from our new house location, it'll be about 160 baht. I'm not going to worry about it. It's 160 baht to get to the MRT.
Get your own private jet ski. You're right near a Klong.
I could do that, but that unfortunately the Tar Chan River doesn't really intersect with the Chai Phraya. What do they call the main river?
Pro.
Hmm?
A pro.
Chai Phraya, is it?
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah,
Chai River.
yeah. So I don't actually have to take the jet ski down the Tar Chan River, out into the bay, and then back up to. No, I'm not going to get a jet ski to go. That's just too far to go.
How far
Sorry.
we're talking about the house you bought, are you, Warren? How far out of Bangkok are you?
Well, let me just bring it up on screen.
Go
what
out the
is-
back door, jump on the boat. Yoo-hoo! Off we go.
Google Maps. Let's go to Google Maps, and we always do something about the Google Maps, show you where things are. Right.
And
So
first, mate, so we know where we are.
okay. So where are we right now? Here's my house
Perth,
here.
Stevenson, Tasmania. Oh, sorry.
So what we want to do is we want to do a distance thing. So we want to go distance, directions to measure distance to Silom, which is that's the there. Silom is here. That's where total. That's 19 kilometres to the centre of the city, as the crow flies. It's a bit longer on the road. Our new house location is out here. So measured that distance.
Oh, that's not far out, one.
Yeah, so that's 45.
Middle of the
That's,
street, Warren.
well, that one there is.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'll be, Warren, buddy,
Yep.
mate,
Shrink
I'll
yourself.
be staying
Oh,
very, very close to you.
there you go. Speak myself. There you go. Yeah, so that's 45-kilometre round trip. So unfortunately, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to measure distance
So your first house is there, where you live now. I'll be in that area.
So I'm 5 kilometres further west from where we are now, but it does mean getting a grab taxi down here. There is a bus route down that main road here, but it's very infrequent. It's the bus 81. Well, it's still fairly well used, but it's the bus 81. They're always the old clunkers, red clunkers. There's no air conditioning. But that will take me all the way to the mall, and I get an MRT, and that would be sort of 15 baht. 15
Warren,
baht for that trip.
You're about, looking at this map,
Hmm.
you're about 6 streets from where I'm staying.
What when you
I'm not joking.
but what?
Well, I can't go into it, but that's where I'll be staying, in that area.
Well, yeah. Well, more
Yeah,
chance for us
I'm
to
not
go.
joking, mate. I'm not joking.
You'll be neighbours.
Well, that's right.
Your
Let's
house has gone down already.
Yeah,
What?
go up, Warren. Go up a bit. I'll show you. Go up.
I go. So you're up in more up in
See
here.
that green square there?
Oh,
This one
okay,
here.
yeah.
Just below that, just below it. Below, go down, about there.
About there.
Yeah.
Fair
Too
enough.
late to tell, Warren.
Say
Not
C.
too late to
Okay.
tell.
Yeah.
So it's only just it's a rental you're doing over there. I thought, aren't you going to be
I
staying with?
can't comment, Warren. I
Oh.
can't comment on it.
Not comment. Okay, nothing. Well, we'll talk about it offline. I'm sure. But yeah, well, that's it. Oh, that's fairly close. There's a few places we can come down to Rinmar and have a drink with us, or the Bahrain. Bahrain's quite popular. It's not too far a trip.
Paying, Warren?
No, you're paying. That's cheap. I might buy the first round, but you're buying shots, okay?
Oh,
They sell shots at 7-Eleven.
sit on it, Warren.
It's all right. If we go to
How much did you
Rinmar,
spend that night? About 10,000.
yeah. If we go to Rinmar, there is a 7-Eleven just on this corner here. So
Yeah, you can sit out there.
so my rounds I'll buy in here, and then you can run out and
What's
get
wrong with
the
7-Eleven, Warren?
nothing.
Obviously nothing when you buy.
Anyway, we're forgetting our audience again. Sorry. Yeah, hopefully that question. So, like, we are living out west. As for the driving thing, the MRT finishes here. The MRT in 5 years will finish here.
Where does the Klong finish near your house? Where's that go? Follow that line.
So when the MRT finishes here, that'll mean the more taxis will be available here, which will mean taxi rides to our house will be a bit easier to get rather than to grabbing it, because it'll mean the fact that more of this area will build up. But yeah, so it's an interesting situation we've got. But the best thing about it,
Pay for the house, Warren? Is that top secret or what?
4,100,000.
Holy hell, that's a lot of money.
That's right. So what's it cost for a 3-bed? It's a 4-bedroom house with a
Massive
study.
amount of money.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So the magic thing is here. This is Bangkok province
Mangroves
here.
territory, that is.
As you can see, Bangkok province, and you've got Nakhon Pathom. So the best thing about this is
Yeah.
right. Oh, sorry, we want to go to there.
How much that Warren's place, actually?
Oh,
Gonna stay at your
million.
place tonight?
Jesus.
Warren, buddy.
Yep.
Turn off his microphone.
Let me just try to get rid of the. Trying to
150 grand Australian.
distance.
I think you can do that by road, can't you?
Where's it?
from here-
Measure distance to here.
Is it?
Where is it? There it is.
Well, you can do it by road.
There we go. That's how close I am by the crow flies to the immigration office. God, mate, my life will just so much change.
You got 7-Elevens, you got a Tesco.
The nearest 7-Eleven is actually down on the corner main road here. It's a fair distance away. We've got a Thai-style 7-Eleven
no.
just on the corner here.
What's this map of Thailand without a 7-Eleven?
7-Elevens.
Hasn't got a 7-Eleven, that's a worry.
There'll be a 7-Eleven on every corner. You're not in Thailand there. You've gone across the border somehow.
Tesco, what else is there? Family Marts. Land.
It's only the ones that are registered, so there's way more than that. Like there's 3 in our street alone. I think you're going to
Jesus.
need to drill in. So
How far are you from
There
Patpong?
might be a good investment there for you, Warren. A 7-Eleven store.
How far are you from Nana?
there's one there. There's one there. There's also one here.
Jesus.
It's very specific to 7-Elevens. You got to drill right in to find where's your nearest 7-Eleven.
Oh, during the sticks then, if you can't find a 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven, 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 7-Eleven.
Oh, yeah, you'll be right in the section.
Like just up here where Chanya's shop is.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
going to
yeah.
find it. Where's the? It's Soy 110. That's the Clong. Just here alone. So you get Tesco Lettuce Express. You know what? I have to click it again to show you there's a 7-Eleven. That's not even coming up. So there's actually one there. There's one here, and there's that one there. Why those ones aren't being showing up, I don't know. Maybe there we go, 7-Eleven. There's a 7-Eleven.
Any
here.
restaurants? Plenty of bars? Restaurants and bars?
Not really. So there's lots of eateries, but you know the main places, as I said, we've got the Bahrain here. We've got a bit further down. There was well, that's a restaurant. There's
Oh, you probably find there's lots in your own area, your new area there too, Warren. You haven't really explored it that much, have you?
well, we've done a little bit of exploring, but you know
Probably
where
find a lot of
we are
nice
we are.
restaurants
There's not much being built out. There will be by the time the house is finished. Yeah. So there's another one, another eatery along here. That's the Bahrain. I'm pretty sure it's what was the another one along here. I'm trying to find
Pizza Huts, KFC, McDonald's.
around.
it.
Oh, mate, you'll be laughing when you move out there.
Yeah, the Bahrain. There's Rinmar, and down here on Soy 81, there's the Beacon Night Market, which is the open air market. With there's a whole bunch of bars there as well.
I've been to that.
How far away is the BTS?
I did a video on that, Warren.
BTS. Well, the BTS finishes here. Can
Oh,
I
you
just-
said that.
It's seasick here, Warren.
BTS finishes here. That's where the BTS is, and that's where the
Right.
MRT finishes.
Where are you?
Out here. So I'm just using that as a marker. Clear measurement.
Yeah.
Distance, measured distance to the MRT. That's 8 kilometres. Oh, come on.
8 kilometres, yeah, I suppose. Small taxi ride.
16 kilometres to the BTS.
It's a fair way, isn't it?
And
16
Lumpini.
That's not that bad.
Lumpini
16 k's.
Park or Ceylon. Well, let's not use Ceylon. Everybody knows this one. Susie's Bar. Right, M quarter. There we go. The Down Under
Far
Bar.
away.
29,
Far from there.
29.45 kilometres. Yeah.
Bloody hell. It's a long way. Ah,
That's all right. That's what we do. Anyway, that's 3Js, love your channel. Thanks, 3Js. But yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. If you love this sort of stuff, we'll definitely love to see you liking the channel, liking the thing. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. There's a little thing down the bottom there that you can always buy me a coffee. Yeah, so that's the map of East or West Bangkok. Let's not talk about the East Bangkok and down to Pattaya. Right, so somewhat background. This is where Dowlow's house is down here. He's on the east coast.
what's the possibilities on the Klong from your house? Where can you go?
No, well the Klong goes to I could get probably a long-tail boat from our place up to Wat Don Wai.
Just thinking if it's a faster way to go to Bangkok. Or
No, unfortunately, everything from this road, everything goes west. All the waterways goes west. Right, so the eastern waterways start from around this way. So this is like the highest point between the two rivers. This area here. So these klongs go west, these klongs go east.
Which is the older part, east or west?
That's,
East, isn't it?
I don't know. I really never looked at it. I think Ayutthaya was the older city, so that's Ayutthaya, right? So
And you have an older part of Bangkok and a newer one, don't you?
well, I think that's something you'd have to ask Bangkok Pat. He could probably give you more information on that one.
I think down near Khao San Road, Victory Monument, that's the older part.
Well, that's what
And
it said.
that-
Bangkok Central, yeah, this is the central Bangkok area inside the river.
Yeah.
You got the palace and everything else. This is the oldest part of the city, and going west, east, like you got the Suvarnabhumi Airport there. You got Don Mueang Airport up here. They were the two entry points for the place, so they built out very fast. But western sort of side, that's more suburbia, and it's a little bit more livable, I think, from a Thai perspective.
I'd prefer to be there actually among all the Thais than right up in the Phalungs.
Yeah, so, but again, when you start to think about it, Thailand, we don't want to stop the measurements, clear measurements. Right, that's just Bangkok, and Thailand's a fairly big place.
That's massive.
Comparison, I'm a Bangkok guy, because my girl lives in Bangkok. My girl, born and bred in Bangkok. We did think of moving up to Sukhothai, but she just didn't feel it was really her lifestyle. So we've stuck here and we've stayed in Bangkok.
Warren, Bangkok's the best city in the world, I think.
Your mum has a place in Sukhothai, does she?
We've got.
No, she doesn't.
No, Stephen doesn't, but Chanya's mum does. She's got three rye up in Sukhothai on the
Yeah, I
farm.
remember you saying, yeah. You'd think they'd want to go there though, like it'd be cheaper, wouldn't it? But anyway.
Well, yeah. So I could build a 3-bedroom house up on our property on the property up there.
Sukhothai's nice. It's
Yeah, so that's where mother's.
really, really nice.
That's where mother's father's house is, right? So if we're drilling in, so that's mother's father's house. She says that we could have this little bit here. We'd knock this one down and build a 3-bedroom here. Right, that's without interfering with the farmland. Where's the river? The river is here. This
Oh
plot.
shit, there's a back onto a river.
Yeah, well that's
no.
floods. So this area
Right.
here, which I've just centre on there, this little plot here, that's hers there. And on the other side of the river, that's on the road, not that one, but this one here is hers as well.
Probably wouldn't suit your lifestyle as much, would it? So
Yeah, Chanya said if we were to build, we'd build over here, away from the community, and take a house area off the front of that one there. And I said no. Well, I'd rather be inside the community because this is family. They're not all blood family. It's family through 3 generations, where all the inter-family marriage around the areas. This whole community is their community. The Puyai of our village lives in this house here, but he also works with the local government for Sukhothai. So he's not only our Puyai for the village, but he's also a bigger Puyai for Sukhothai as well. He drives a Mercedes, 5 class or 6 class or something, one of those really flashy
Possible,
ones.
Warren, if he's government.
You reckon? Yeah, it's obviously it's not so much.
Yeah.
I know that's it. Like that. That's a government job, and that's
If you're in the
then,
government, Warren, you don't drive a Mercedes Benz, you're a failure.
and oh, is that what it is? Is it? Okay.
No, I didn't say that.
Maybe they're not so affluent. The government jobs up in Sukhothai
have a
aren't
flag
good.
on the front of them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the look. I could quite happily live there. Give me an internet connection, I'd be happy.
I'd stay in Bangkok, Warren. I love Bangkok. I think it's the best city in the world.
Sisamrong is here. That's the district office. So mother's house
Always use it as a holiday home, couldn't you? Like just as a place to go.
to the district office there. That's 3 kilometres. So if Chanya was going to put a salon up there, she'd put a salon in Sisamrong, and so she'd have to commute
How many
that far.
people are there, Warren?
Sisamrong? Probably 500,000.
Oh, that's a big city there, is it? Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, it's fairly large.
Well, it's not as large as Sukhothai, which is down here.
Where?
Sukhothai's a really nice town.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, you probably have I probably have 1 million
Have you
people in
been there,
Sukhothai.
Steve?
Yeah, it's really nice. Very hilly, lots of temples. There's a very traditional lifestyle there, and they've got everything you need. A lot of tourists go there.
I
Yeah,
always used to
so
call in there on the way to Shanghai or Chiang Mai. Always call into Sukhothai. Very nice.
so how far are we? So there's the Sukhothai Historical Park there, which is well, measured distance.
That was 30 years ago, so God knows what it's like now to have everything you need.
To the national park, that's 20 kilometres away as a crow flies, but it's we'd have to take that road down through here, go through here, which
That
is
water
Sukhothai,
catchment's
and
like a
then,
love
and
heart.
then go west. So it's a bit longer. Oh, come on. Clear measurement distance, measured distance to here.
How far was it?
That's 15 kilometres as the crow flies to Sukhothai.
Oh, no, you need to be tarred and feathered and dragged through the streets, Warren.
It was the old capital, Robert, but I think Ayutthaya was the capital before Sukhothai.
No, Sukhothai then Ayutthaya.
Oh, was it the other way, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sukhothai is 400 years ago, Ayutthaya is about 250 years ago.
Correct.
At rough
How
numbers,
many,
don't.
how many
yeah.
capitals? I don't know how many capitals they've had, but I think it's only about.
Yeah, I think there was one up to Shanghai, wasn't it? Up that way, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's before that was before the Thailand was
Before
unified.
Thailand.
So Thailand unification was pretty much the days when Sukhothai was the capital, and Sukhothai was sacked by
Burmese.
It was sacked by Myanmar. That's why they moved to Ayutthaya, because it was too contentious border. But yeah, a little bit of our history lesson. I'm totally ignoring our people in the live chat. They're just chatting amongst themselves.
I'm keeping an eye on it.
Anything we need to ask? Any questions asked our way? Or
Robert Groves just says about the capital. Andy Stubbs says that my ideal place to live in Thailand is near a beach and a rainforest, close to a fairly big town where you can get most things you need.
yeah, as for beaches, you have to go as far. Cha and maybe Sir Jontiem. I wouldn't use any beach any closer to the city. It's just too dirty. It's not so dirty. It's not dirty. It's just silty. The water's too silty for
Apparently,
this.
it's a very shallow harbour. That
Very shallow harbour. Yeah, it only gets to some
you wouldn't
depth.
want to put submarines in there.
Yeah. So
Definition of beach is pretty
Pattaya,
broad in
Cha,
Thailand,
this area across here, which is where they want to build the land bridge. There's talk about a land bridge coming in. Right, they actually want to build a land bridge between Pattaya, to Hua Hin.
It'd be unreal.
I think there's a load of talk there, Warren. I don't think it's going to happen.
Measured distance to there. So it's a 108 kilometres for a land bridge. What if I had any pull in the government? What I would say they'd do is they should build not a bridge, but a dike like they have in Holland, right? So going from here across to here.
How many kilometres?
Right, across there. Right, 96 kilometres. Well, 96 kilometres.
Holy shit!
But it's fairly shallow. It's only, I think, the deepest only 650 feet or something. The deepest area through here, and you can take it through these two islands. And you'd build actually a complete land bridge, and then you would lower the water here by 3 metres. Build a complete dike and do like a Holland style living. Once you lower 3 metres the sea level here, right, you'd stop all your flooding problems. This, you could set up catchments and reservoirs and everything else. But
What's the
again,
electricity, Warren?
oh
What's
yeah,
the electricity
that's right.
generation?
You could do electricity generation between low and high tides.
Submit your idea, Warren, then they can have it. You build it after your name. They can have the GERD start.
Unfortunately, I think it'd cost more than 10 years of their GDP to actually fund it. So, especially with no tourists.
China will fund it. China will fund it.
China will fund it, yeah.
We'll take a look at it.
But that'd have no benefit for China, so China wouldn't do it. So there's no benefit for China in that. So
Your submissions
it'll
to
never
Mayor Groves
happen.
and see if he'll do it for you.
and the Mayor Groves will do it. Yeah. Anyway, getting back. Where
He's
are we?
already said the bridge will never happen. They can't run the ferry service properly. There you go, Mayor Groves.
Yeah, exactly.
Food already.
I haven't heard from you for a while, since last week.
Food already.
Mark, we're doing 3 jazz batteries, Andy Stubbs. Is that the new ferry service still running? Yeah, it still runs. I think it's twice a day now, isn't it? They had a more frequent commute, but people weren't using it.
There you go. It doesn't work.
Well, people weren't
Groves,
using it.
just
And
poo-pooed your idea, Warren.
Probably one of them. And spend all that money on a bridge across there. That won't work either. I don't think, will it?
unless, of course, there was some financial incentive, in the wartime they built a bloody railway through.
Spending money on a freeway straight around. Non-stop.
Well,
Or whatever.
they've got a freeway, but it's
Sometimes, yeah.
you've got to get off one and get another, and get off one, get on. I think you've got to have 3 freeway interchanges.
Not very nice in PTR. I was talking to someone last night, Warren. They were in Sikkim Road.
Ceylon.
And you should see the traffic. They couldn't move.
Yeah, it's just peak hour on those couple of main thoroughfares. There's a grid of 3 or 4 streets in the centre of Bangkok.
Like Tong Day today, isn't it?
Lokatrong, no, Lokatrong's when is it?
It was today and they were going out.
Let me see if I can find out. Lokatrong.
I don't know how you spell it. It's on today, Warren. Positive.
AHRATONG.
Let's put in Thailand holidays. Oh, it's not a holiday, actually.
Loi, LOI, Loi Krathong.
Public holidays, yeah, it's not a public holiday, so it probably doesn't come in
I think
here.
holidays is today, somewhere, or whatever. And Halloween tomorrow. What's Halloween tomorrow, isn't it?
Oh, it's tonight. It's the 31st today.
Oh,
Let me
12
look
o'clock,
up.
yeah. Oh, hang on.
Been confirmed. Loi Krathong is today. Robert Groves has confirmed it.
Okay.
Is it?
And your Halloween's tomorrow, isn't it, Robert?
Halloween's in America.
Apparently the Thais like to celebrate things. This is what I was told. I said, just don't celebrate, Halloween. Oh, no, we like celebrating anything. We're going to... So now they're going to do, Halloween.
When's Christmas this year?
So it's not actually showing up. So it is a full moon tonight at 9:45 p.m. and it's the first full moon in the calendar cycle. So
Jesus, mate, you'll have to get that camera and get outside.
I'll have to check with Chanya if we've got something happening.
Go to a restaurant on a lake somewhere. They'll be doing it. That's what I used to do. It's a good night out, actually. It'll be a real family day. It is.
2020.
There you go. You know the latest on Thailand? Just ask me.
Lokatrong is on Sunday, November the 1st, tomorrow. So it's actually 7.
Wrong. Come on, it could be 12 o'clock. Right?
Yeah.
I asked the question,
Robert,
when's Christmas?
Well,
Mr.
Robert,
Mitch.
Robert said it was on today, didn't he?
Well, as I said, especially this is the one I look at. It's 1st of November.
I was told today, but oh well.
It's the first day after the full moon.
Oh, don't mention the war. Full moon parties. Oh, no.
Yeah, they're a thing of the past, aren't they? But yes.
No, I just hate that sort of thing. I like the islands to myself. It's the whole idea of going to an island to be by yourself.
But anyway, let's get back on subject. So, is Thailand right for you? If you love good food, and I'm pretty sure you get good food all over the world, but Thai food is probably the best food. It really is. And you either love Thai food or you don't love Thai food. If you love Thai food, Thailand is obviously the place for you. If you don't like Thai food, you're going to find Thailand a bit of a challenge. There's plenty of fast food, but Thai food.
Some confirmation, please. When's Christmas? I asked the question. Mr. Mitch says it's June. Andy Stubbs says it's July, Christmas? And they're having another one in December.
I got a report, given the social distancing thing, Sanders just said he's not coming. That's it. Christmas has been cancelled. Didn't you hear that?
No, I'm Santa. I can't get down the chimney.
You can't. Don't you know how to do the quick 3 puffs and go down any chimney? I don't know. It's on tonight. Robert says it's on tonight, full moon. I have seen nothing in the street, but said it's officially on that website, which is the one I go by, says it's tomorrow. So, when they actually have the floating of the candles, I don't know. But I haven't been out in the street today, so I don't even know if they're selling the little croutons yet.
The one where they send the lanterns up in the air, they're not allowed to do it anymore, I don't think.
I think they can that as well. That was always a sight to see.
Banned. Yeah, that was the best part of it.
Yeah.
Sending those things up.
We were over in Bangkok for Loikatron one time when they did that. That was a few years ago. That was 2014 or something like that. That's about the last time they'd done it.
Watching them all get caught in the bird nest wiring, that was part of the fun.
Watching coconut trees catch a light, yes, that was always fun.
That's the whole idea of it. Oh well.
Yeah, but Christmas, as I said, Christmas is cancelled. Sorry, social distancing. You can't go anywhere for 5 kilometres or something like that. I don't know. What's the bloody rules now? I don't know. I've been following.
Sydney just got my joke. He said 25th of December. Ha ha ha! He just got it. Well done, Paul.
Was that a cryptic joke? Was it?
I asked when was Christmas.
Christmas is.
I hope Paul didn't just get it.
It's about hilarious.
That poor the PH folk. Anyway, look, we're trying to stay on subject, but yeah, quite frankly, Thailand is a great place to live. But you're gonna need some moolah, because that's the only downside is you need to have saved your pennies for 30 to 40 years to actually.
Getting more expensive.
It's getting more expensive. I may actually have to get serious with my YouTube channel once in a while, and actually pull my finger out and actually make some decent videos and grow my channel.
I'm never going to bung shit on you the rest of my life, Warren. That's all with one fucking sitting.
Yeah, you might have to actually edit them.
I might have to actually do some editing and use some video skill.
I just keep running them live, Warren, and
that's all right.
Edit them.
We've only had two live. We've only had 2 super chats today. Come on.
Start wearing matching t-shirts. That might help.
We do not do that. That's it. I've already said that in many videos. We will never be caught wearing matching t-shirts. That's for other people to do.
Oh, I'm not going to comment.
The big fat guy in red suit will have to do 2 weeks in quarantine each country, so Christmas will be at least 6 months. Is that right?
Okay, let's just ask the Supreme Commander, boss, right?
Yeah.
Mal, she said yes, it's today.
Is it? Okay.
I don't know, mate. I really don't know.
Fair enough.
Robert Groves has confirmed it. Yeah, Groves has confirmed
Robert said today.
Yeah, Groves has said it's today, and if it's not today,
it's going to be saying tomorrow.
It depends on what time our temple around here does it, that's all.
Most people have it at different times, don't they?
I've had headphones on all morning, so I can't hear if there's any chanting, because normally the chanting starts about 9 o'clock in the morning.
Is it?
Mr. Mitch hates the full
What's
moon
it, mate?
parties as well.
Get out and give it a film if you can. Well, it's a great night out.
Oh, look, if it's on, I've got the camera ready. The camera's always ready to go.
No, what you do is you try to get a restaurant on a lake or a river or something like that, and or a pond or whatever. You know, big ponds they got the water catchments, and they'll do it all there. It's a really nice night out.
That's
You got a
like,
new chair, Warren.
just
You got a
quickly.
new chair.
Yeah, I got a new chair. Yeah, I got it's probably 4 or 5
bit
months
posh.
old now. Oh, it's really salubrious. It really is.
You got it already.
Go to sleep in this thing, you know.
Yeah, I think it's better than the red one you had. Yeah.
I used to go to sleep in the morning and wake up with a horrible thud.
It's like a lazy boy.
Whole chair and me. Oh shit!
Get the right angle of the dangle.
Just into the ground.
To recline back.
Three jazz. Thailand is my love, my favourite. It's so good. Can't wait to get out of AU. Yeah, a lot of people in the same boat there. Three jazz.
We can't get out. It's hopeless.
Well, I said I believe in it. If you can, well, Thailand will let you in through the whole. If you check all the boxes.
Australia lets us out. Yeah, if Australia
Right,
lets
and I
us out.
believe if you go for a 3 month, Australia is on the list allowing you out if you're taking a 3 month visitation. So I'm not quite sure how that function works.
You know, Warren, the prime, what do you call him, the supreme commander of Melbourne or Victoria,
Yeah,
is making front page news in England. The way
Wouldn't
he's treating
surprise
his
me.
subject.
yeah, wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me. He thinks he's the king of bloody Victoria.
He's crazy, that guy.
I don't know
That's
why.
Andy Stubbs' mate.
Is it? Yeah, right. Yeah, I heard that one. You should see
Andy
what Andy.
just ordered a sniper
You
rifle.
should see what Andy Stubbs says to me on private messenger on
No, I've heard
Facebook.
it.
Oh my
Oh, wow,
God,
they handle it.
God,
Johnny
yeah.
So
Oh, so
I
did
like
Johnny
him.
I am. Jesus.
That's a love-hate relationship if I've ever seen one. He loves to hate the Premier.
Oh, Johnny hates him.
Johnny hates him too as well, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he goes right off.
Politicians just suck.
AU is so much, and then like seriously it is. It's definitely not free. Freedom, what's that? Yep, sorry.
My two daughters are over there, Warren. I speak to them sometimes about what's happening in Melbourne, like with the what's his name? Ed, what's his name again? Can't remember his
Patty
name.
MD's just joined us. G'day, Patty MD, how you doing? Sorry, say it again. Who's...
Mr. Mitch hates him as well.
Mr. Miss hates him as well. I think everybody hates the Victorian Premier. He's
Going
an
off
absolute-
topic? Are we still on topic or what?
Yeah, I think. Well, I said I get your certificate of entries done, guys. You can get back here. You got to do the COE thing. Get all this, check all the boxes. I'm hopefully going to next week hook up with Vince. He's a friend of ours who lives in Thailand. He's got a house here in Thailand, and he's part of our meetup crew. He was going to Cambodia. He was going to, not Cambodia, going to Colombia in late March this year. Landed in Texas to do a change of flights, and in that sitting at the airport there, he was told he couldn't go to Colombia. Right? He says, "Oh, well, give us a ticket back to Thailand." Sorry, Thailand's borders are also closed, and he's been stuck in Texas for 9 months. And he finally got his COE. Yeah, he finally got his COE done. Did all the freaking bullshit. He's currently in quarantine here in Thailand. 2 flights: a flight to Taiwan, and then a flight from Taiwan to oh mate, it was a drama. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to talk to Vince and do a video of that. Just really give you the whole rundown on how much fun that was. Whether it's going to be a public video or an insider video, I don't know. Depends on how it pans out. Depends on how narcissistic we are to the whole regime, you know. But it is one of those comical things. Anyway, these are things that are now so easy as, well, it's crazy. Some people don't make a move. It's hard to change habits, I guess.
The thumbs up, guys. There's only 28 thumbs up.
Yep,
One
thumbs up
down,
there.
which is mine.
That's it. You're got a thumbs down. Good. It's all right. But yes,
Okay. Got
yeah.
two now, they all-
we sort of were on subject, but after these two stopped having a dig at each other, it's been quite informative. I think we've covered a few topics. Haven't been so many questions fired at me this time. And what do I think about everything? But other than that, I don't think there's anything I missed. And if it's Loikatrong tonight, then I'll video tonight. If it's Loikatrong tomorrow night, I'll video tomorrow night.
Any night, it might be the both the nights.
Well,
I'm not going.
That's two people have told me in Thailand, and plus Robert. So I don't know.
Yep, so if I go back to Google Maps, I'll show you where we go. So Google Maps, just on the closing, so we do, where's our house, right? So satellite view,
Show your house one more time.
right, so this our house here, right, and we only have to go measure distance to, that's the pond there. That's walking distance. That's the what? Well, can remember
Case to the beach.
what-
Yes, you're in the sticks.
what Wong Lang? They just call it what Wong. What's Wong today?
Wrong.
What Wong? What Wong Lum Pram? So we go there and we do. They normally have some stalls and a little fair thing going on here, and we then float the katrongs in this lake here. This one here has been overgrown for quite some time.
Up
They
to
need to
brush your
dredge.
head, Warren. Move your head.
Oh, I guess sorry. You got to remind me. I keep on forgetting. Yeah, so that's our house.
Over the side of there.
There we go. Oh, you're not sitting
Just
it
a
looking. I've got the live
Your
screen.
head's in the road where you're pointing.
It's all right.
Maybe salubrious chair.
You're on the Discord. You can look at what I'm live streaming on that screen without looking
I'm
at
watching on YouTube.
on YouTube. Yeah, that's right. You're watching.
Move the lazy boy.
It's all right. That's about a 20-second delay at the moment.
Yeah, is it?
Don't know why there's a 20-second delay. We've got low latency on. Should only be 10 seconds, but things have been changing on YouTube. How'd you go at hooking in your live stream from StreamYard last week, Stephen? Did you have to go through extra steps?
No, not really. But it was pretty bad. I was losing it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, you'd what do you call it? Buffering and stuff like that. I was doing that a lot, and I watched the replay. It's not very good quality. I
Robert
mean, everybody's
Groves-
at home now, Warren, with this coronavirus. They're all live streaming and doing this and doing that, and whatever.
Lawrence
I suppose they're very busy.
Robert Groves did what?
says, "What do you think about everything?"
Everything. Life to universe. Life to universe. We have a
What do you
saying
think
here.
about everything?
We have a saying here as to the other man's grass is always greener. Whereas the Shilton Egg race of Brute Blue 13 had a similar phrase, but since their planet was a bit eccentric, botanically speaking, the best they could come up was the other Sheltonax juniperberry shrub is always a more mauve shade of pinky russet. So the expression soon fell into disuse, and they
The hell are you
soon
talking about?
they soon
Get a
learned
grip.
that they had to become happy and contented with their lot. You know.
Get a grip, man. What were you just talking about?
What do I think about everything?
You
Life
talk
to
like that in the pub, Warren. They won't
Life-
serve you.
life, the universe, and everything.
You've had too much to drink, Steve. You better leave.
What do you mean the other Sheltonax juniperberry shrub is more a mauve shade of pinky russet? Don't you have that saying where you live? Jesus Christ. I don't know. Anyway, we're at the 2-hour mark. I'm not going to wrap this shit up.
That's
You've
so-
gone over 2 hours, haven't you?
We've been going 2 hours. Yes. Time has flown by. It really has. Anyway, 3 Jazz, keep up the thanks for joining in. Certainly clarifies it for me. He says. What do I think about everything? Like we can do that live stream. I'm going to need a few days to give you all my views on everything in the world.
If you had to tell us about everything you know, it'd only take a 5-minute video, I think.
What was that movie that came out with what was it, Robin Williams? The World According to Garp. wasn't it? That was an interesting movie. Maybe we should go and watch that and then sort of rephrase that. The World According to Warren. The World According to Wazza. Do a live stream. Enjoyed the long weekend. Is it a long weekend if you're having one? I don't know. Is it a long weekend? Don't think it's a long weekend.
No, apparently it's not a long weekend, Warren.
No, it's a Buddhist.
Yeah.
It's a Buddhist representation, but it's not actually a holiday.
You can do a Warren Gertz movie, like, Archie Luxury. Just make a movie about yourself.
Yeah. I need a film crew, and I need to lose some weight.
You're a fat bastard, man.
I'm a fat bastard, 85 kilos. Actually, 86 kilos at the moment. I put a bit on.
Stephen in a fortnight's booked in for liposuction.
That's right.
Liposuction done, Stephen?
I haven't had breakfast yet.
Richie, thanks for joining in. Mark, for doing sort of Melbourne Cup weekend, and no one's going. So, can you actually go to the Melbourne Cup? So, it's only just horses this time, is it? It's going to be live streamed everywhere.
Play with your Discord, Warren. You can't watch the screen, the stream.
You're just obviously not.
It's coming up on the left-hand side.
Yeah, just got to click on the button. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Anyway, we're out of here because you don't actually see me. You can actually look at my lovely picture of Bangkok there when you're looking at the Discord stream.
Okay.
So it's not as interesting. Cue the song and get off, he says. Cue the song and get off. Thanks for joining us. Peace out, guys, and we'll catch up. That's it. Yeah, cue the song, get out of here. Closing screen. Here we go. Bye for now. Peace out.
Thanks for coming along, Warren.
Yep, thanks Stephen. Thanks Stephen. Thanks Stephen. Don't right. Thanks for supporting the channel. Special shout out to our Patreons and our Super Chat supporters. Always nice to have you along. Don't forget PayPal, Patreon, like, share, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. And here's some videos for